You know, originally this video was supposed to be about Billy Joel's new song, but then the Grammys happened and the Super Bowl happened and so many different artists just released so much music this month. And instead of just focusing on one of them, I decided, why don't I just talk about everything? So today I decided to make a full in-depth review on all music that was released in the month of February. You know, I've never really sat down and taken in like a month's worth of music before, and trust me, there's a lot. And because I'm only one person, I'm definitely gonna leave some things out, and this analysis is gonna be just a slightly bit biased to the things I care about, because, you know, I would have fit everything in, but, you know, I don't exactly know how big other news is, because I don't know it, so I did my best anyways. But anyways, if you think I left anything big out, cool, you could tell me some other time. Anyways, I'm sure you read the title. This video is going to be about basically going through everything that happened in the month of February of 2024. Let's get started. So starting off the month, Billy Joel comes out of nowhere with Turn the Lights Back On, potentially hinting at a new album. Other than playing in Madison Square Garden and other tours, Billy Joel really hasn't done much with music. He hasn't released any music since Rivers of Dreams, which was released in 1993. Well, technically his last release was Fantasies and Delusions, but that's a piano album that barely counts. I'm talking about stuff that's more like this and, you know, 52nd Street. I like songs like Zanzibar, Just the Way You Are, and that's what Turn the Lights Back On feels like. It genuinely feels like he's regained the passion to make more music, like he's turning the lights back on. Okay, I know that was cheap, but still, I'm happy knowing with the help of Freddie Wexler, Billy Joel has found the fun and joy of writing music even after 30 years. Hopefully he'll continue to keep writing music because, let's be real, bro's just too good to quit. Please never stop. Focus Features presents Back to Black, a biopic based on the life of Amy Winehouse scheduled to release May 17th. I, personally, am actually very excited for this movie because I don't know too much of her story, and I pray that this movie depicts her life respectfully and accurately, because if it doesn't, I'm just gonna have to actually look it up, and I'm too busy for that, so please just make a good movie. Just make a good movie! It's not that hard! Next, Paul McCartney and The Wings celebrated their 50th anniversary to their Band on the Run album by releasing the underground dub mixes. Following that, we have Little Strangers, Kama Sumatra, Marvel's Moon Girl Season 2, produced by Raphael Sadiq, Has Been Hotel soundtrack written by Andrew Underberg and Sam Hoft, and finally the Persona 3 Reload soundtrack. Original tracks rearranged by Shoji Meguro, and new tracks by Sushi Roll. Give me a sec.
What's up?
Can you read this?
Atsushi Kitajo?
Alright, thanks, bye. I know those last three were kind of out there, but I feel like they were worth mentioning, so. Listen up, the Grammys. The biggest night in music. A time to represent artists and their craft. A chance to make history. A night to recognize outstanding achievements in the music industry. A night— Taylor Swift. Really, what did we expect? I am not a Swiftie, but I'm not totally against her winning Album of the Year, and I know everyone was saying, oh, SOS should have won, oh my god! But I don't know, SOS had a lot of great songs on it, but it also had a lot of songs no one really listens to. You know, I've heard the entirety of Midnight's, and even though it's not really my kind of music, I could see why it won. I also like a couple songs on the album, like Snow on the Beach, Sweet Nothing, and Bigger Than the Whole Sky. And don't get it twisted, I really don't listen to her music. But you know, you have to commend her for being the only person in the world to win this award 4 times, you know, Album of the Year, beating out Paul Simon, Stevie Wonder, and Frank Sinatra. And to be frank, personally, I would not let the Swifties take that dub. I'd rise up, put on my hat, get back in the studio immediately. You too, Stevie, because you can't keep getting away with this. Anyways, let's go over some of the most notable wins that night. Taylor Swift wins Album of the Year. Miley Cyrus wins her first Grammy, being Record of the Year and Best Pop Solo Performance. Billie Eilish wins Song of the Year. Yay, Marby! Victoria Monet wins Best New Artist, which is totally deserved. Jack Antonoff won Producer of the Year. Taylor Swift's Midnight also won Best Pop Vocal Album. Killer Mike's Michael won Best Rap Album. Lady Wilson's Bell Bottom Country won Best Country Album. SZA's SOS won Best Progressive R&B Album. Skrillex, Fred Again, and Flowden's Actual Life 3 won Best Dance Electronic Album. And finally, Paramore's This Is Why won Best Rock Album, which is just spectacular. To be real, 66 Grammys? Kinda predictable. Almost everyone I thought was gonna win won. The only thing that kinda shocked me was that Olivia Rodrigo won nothing after being nominated for 6 awards. You know, I thought she was at least gonna take the cake for Best Pop Vocal Performance with Vampire, but I guess Miley Cyrus can take it. Seeing Leve perform with Billy Joel was pretty cool. I really like Dua Lipa's performance. Dance the Night Away is just too good not to acknowledge it. She also played her new song, Houdini, and more importantly, Training Season. More on that later. Mark Ronson and his mom announcing Record of the Year was probably the funniest part of the night. And yeah, that's the Grammys. I know I'm missing out on so much that happened that night, but this video would be absurdly long if I were to actually include everything that happened that night. So if you really care, it's on YouTube, just go watch it. But congratulations to everyone who won and to those who were nominated, because those are just incredible achievements that inspire people like me and others around the world. And for everyone else, try harder next time. Ariana Grande's Thank You Next turns 5 years old. Yeah, that's it. Now, this day, the 9th, it's a big day. Jake released a new song with Pink Sweat, which was pretty good, but I just really wanted to mention it because he just recently hit 1 billion streams for Golden Hour on January 31st, so congratulations to you. Anyways, the new releases for the day were Visionary Jones by Norah Jones, The Highlights Deluxe by The Weeknd, USHER released his 9th studio album, Coming Home, and Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign released Vultures 1. So let's start with Norah Jones. Even though it might look like one, this actually isn't an album. It's more like a playlist or compilation, but still, I want to talk about it. I very much enjoyed Visionary Jones. It's such a soft-spoken, warm, cozy little compilation that makes you feel like the lo-fi study girl. I haven't listened to much of Norah's music other than her super popular songs, but now I feel like I gotta. It's just too peaceful to pass up. My favorite songs were Running and It Was You. More on Norah Jones later. Next we have another compilation album, The Highlights Deluxe. This is kind of embarrassing, but I don't know many songs by The Weeknd, and after I heard this album had the song from Fortnite, I was very excited, and my excitement was justified. Very great album. It's not exactly my kind of music, but I understand why his music is so mainstream. Is she popular? Maybe too popular. My favorite songs on this album were Die For You, In Your Eyes, I Feel It Coming, popular of course, Take My Breath, and Out of Time. Good album. I wouldn't say I'm a fan yet, but you know, I feel like that'll change sooner or later. Good album though, I enjoyed it. Anyways, USHER. So my mom and I were talking about him during the Super Bowl, which we'll talk about later, and she said one of those mom things like, "You're too young for this," and normally I would jump her and I'd prove her wrong, but then I thought about it, and damn, she's right. Like, other than the ooh, 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 and yeah, I don't know a single damn thing about him. I might be truly missing on certified bangers, but on the other hand, not a single person has ever told me to listen to him, especially no one my age. So, you know, I don't know. So this album was my real first impression of him, and it's alright, it's cool, I like it. I wish I had more to say, but it just wasn't super interesting for me. I don't know how other people are receiving this album, but I didn't really click with it. I listened to the whole thing with a friend, and I think he agreed. But these were the songs we both agreed were our favorites. Good Good, Kissing Strangers, Risk It All. Oh my god, Risk It All is so good. I love you, her. Bop, and Standing Next to You. Alright, now we're gonna cover the new Kanye album. And I'm not gonna go into it like some others have, so expect a lot of fast-paced haymaker statements. The first being that this album just isn't that good. 2 words, get real. It's characterized by garbled, sloppy production, lackluster lyrics and vocal performance, and brings essentially nothing new or thought-worthy to the table. All it really tells us is that, yeah, Kanye's really gone and lost it, huh? Which is not only what it sounds like, but it feels like too. Disappearing off the face of the earth after all the comments he made and deals he destroyed, and coming back with a surprise album decorated by him wearing the same suit he wore in InfoWars and his new wife's. Yeah. And clearly the rest of the world has something to say about this too. A lot of very split opinions have come from this. For every person who still wants the old Kanye, there's going to be those praising the new Kanye. And they'll gladly disagree with one another, but ultimately the person who might just get a kick at the most out of the whole controversy is Kanye himself. It gets people talking. I mean, we're talking about it, aren't we? What better advertising for your new album than some uproar that'll get everyone to at least listen to it? At the end of the day, they all said it themselves. I'm just here to get paid. I'm just here to get paid. Which is exactly why I'm not gonna pay it any more attention. Next up, Beyoncé dropped the first single to her upcoming album, Renaissance Act 2, a sequel to the very successful Act 1, the second installment in the Renaissance trilogy, but unlike its predecessor being a dance R&B album, this time is country, which subverted expectations to say the least. I've always been one of the guys to say, I listen to every genre except country, but not because country's bad, I just think I've never really had good exposure to real country, and even I know this does not count. I think this new album will probably be my real introduction to the genre, but 16 Carriages doesn't make me super excited for the album. I don't really think it's good nor bad. I just need to hear more of Act 2. I have a very neutral opinion on it right now, but just wait. Beyonce then releases another single promoting the album with Texas Hold'em, which this is definitely more my style. It's still a little weird that Beyonce's making country music, but I think as time goes on, this era of Beyonce just might be one of her best. If this album is actually good, of course, but I like this song way more than 16 Carriages. It's much more catchy, and her vocal riffs are so much fun to listen to, the whistles especially. My favorite parts are the stick around and the octave jumps. After hearing Texas Hold'em, I'm a lot more excited to see where the direction of Act 2 is actually going. It just makes me think that, if Act 1 was Dance House, and this new act is country, what could Beyonce possibly cook up with Act 3? Who knows? Very exciting and can't wait to see. But for the time being, I think it's best to focus on what's happening now. Like, the very next day now, we're talking about the 58th Super Bowl. There's a decent chunk to talk about in this section of the video, so I'm gonna try going as fast as I can because a lot happened, as you know. Just so you know, I also didn't see the entirety of the game live, so I know I've probably missed a thing or two, but I'm gonna do my absolute best. First things first, Reba McEntire kicked off the game by singing the national anthem this year. We also had Andra Day perform Lift Every Voice and Sing, which was apparently booed and got a lot of hate. I had no clue this, and I'm not going to talk about it. I know SpongeBob was at the Super Bowl,
Of course it's me, and it's about darn time the biggest
and I'm not going to talk about it. We continue with Beyonce's Verizon commercial. The whole thing's about her trying to break the internet, doing various things like Twitch streaming, and normally this type of thing is like kind of corny, but I can't help but laugh. Why is her tag I am Slayonce, I slay all day, oh, and I'm the real Beyonce, and then she has Beyonce, like, come on. I don't know, it was fun, but at the end she says, okay, they're ready, drop the new music. We then get a teaser showing this taxi cab driving around Texas. A group of people just looking up for a second. Then this goofy yeehaw type beat starts playing. Okay, no disrespect, I actually do like this song. For real, Texas Hold'em starts playing and one of the guys turn around to see the cab driving by while showing one of the old school billboards saying Texas Hold'em. It then goes black and reads Act 2, March 29th. I remember most of my friends like freaking out during this announcement, but for people that already knew, the only new announcement was the release date. Some other YouTubers have already been discussing how well she's been handling the promotion for Renaissance Act 2, so I'm not gonna say anything about that. Plus, I'm supposed to be talking about the Super Bowl. Anyways, Universal Pictures gives us our first look at Wicked Part 1. the first of a two-part film adaptation of the stage musical with the same name. Yeah, that's a handful. Starring Cynthia... Wait. Huh? Erivo? Is that Erivo? Cynthia Erivo. Pronunciation.
Cynthia Erivo.
Erivo. Okay. Starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, and Jeff Goldblum. And people are excited for this movie. I'll be honest, and I'll say I don't think this movie really needs to exist. We already have the OG Wizard of Oz, The Wiz, Wicked, the musical, etc. And no one was craving a Wicked movie. But for Ariana Grande's sake, it's nice that we're getting a new album and a movie in the same year after a 4-ish year break. She must have just woke up, I don't know. Hopefully it does well, but looking at the dislikes, I don't know. Now, for the biggest part of the night, regarding music of course, the halftime show. Starring Usher. Featuring Alicia Keys. Her. And special guest appearances, will.i.am. Lil Jon. And Ludacris. And most importantly, this guy! Like last year, this performance was sponsored by Apple Music. Usher starts with Caught Up from his Confessions album, followed by You Don't Have to Call from his 8701 album. Next was Superstar from Confessions again, then played Love in This Club from Here I Stand, seamlessly into If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys from Diary of Alicia Keys. And I don't mean to get off topic, but damn, look at that piano! Usher and Alicia Keys performed their song My Boo from Confessions, and yeah, we've all seen this part. We then get Confessions Part 2 from the same album, Nice and Slow from My Way, Burn from Confessions, and You Got It Bad from 8701, with recent collaborator Her on guitar at the end, which she absolutely killed. Then we get Bad Girl solely for the transition into Oh My God featuring will.i.am, which was probably the most impressive part of the night. Let's be so real. From the introduction to the roller skates, flips, this guy on his head, the costume change, will.i.am himself, seeing Usher come out with his new fit, the Can You Feel It reference, then the song actually starts in the choreo, and then Lil Jon would turn down for what? Into the one, the only, yeah, and then they got Ludacris, this guy gets thrown in the air. Just everything about this part was perfect. The stage, the lights, the performances, the marching band, the energy was just on point. Then finishing the performance with Get Low, oh my goodness, what a performance. I went from being a hater to one of Usher's biggest fans. For real though, I'm someone who knows basically nothing about Usher, so this was actually amazing. Definitely one of the better halftime shows, and way better than his newest album. No offense, but this performance was just that good. Next thing you know, I might just be an Usher fan. Who knows? You know, overall, the Super Bowl was definitely a night for music, but I'd say a good one. I don't think it deserved as much hate as it got. Specifically, Alicia Keys with her voice crack. You know, people make mistakes, and at the end of the day, we're all human. I still love you, Alicia. Always know that. Also, Wicked. At the end of the day, you're either hyped or you don't care, so why hate? The Michael Jackson Instagram officially announced the start of the upcoming biopic, which isn't super big news. The movie has been in production for a while now, even having a decent amount of the movie already cast. But the weird part is actually about the star playing Michael in the movie, Jafar Jackson. He actually had one of his songs leaked out titled Rebirth of Michael, which was later taken down sometime after. I don't know the full story of this, but I do know what happened, and I do know it's hard to find on YouTube now. Anyways, Bryson Tiller also released a new single/music video, Whatever She Wants. This is also his first release this year. I thought I'd just put that in there. Bob Marley, One Love hits theaters with a very, very strong opening, making it one of the top earning musical biopics in the country. As for what I think, man, that was deep. It feels like such a real movie, really delving into his struggles, beliefs, and the influence he left on us. Even though I'm not super familiar with his music, if you are, I would definitely check it out. Dua Lipa releases the second single, Training Season, for her upcoming third studio album alongside a music video. She also played a small snippet of it at the Grammys, which was pretty cool, and I've never really heard of anyone doing that before. Okay, so I've never heard anyone do that prior to this video, but it has happened before, trust me. I know the last 3 days are kind of like one and dones, but not today. On February 16th, we start with Yes And by Ariana Grande featuring Mariah Carey. And wow, that was just not it. I thought it was maybe my hearing the first time I heard it, but then I heard it again and again. And just like any sane person, I turned to the internet, and it was a good idea I did that because sadly they agreed. Like, why does Mariah sound like AI? I don't know, the doubling in the chorus sounds really weird, and Mariah's vocals during her verse just sound so pronounced. You know, like normally that wouldn't be a bad thing, but here it just feels weird. I'd like to hear it live, that way it probably wouldn't have those problems, but I don't know, it was just kind of weird. Next, Yeats 2093. This album's a good choice for those into music with similar tastes. Not everyone will enjoy it, but I'm not gonna say it's bad. Yeat kind of honed in this sound, capturing the essence a little better. Some songs are weak, but when it hits, it hits. Nothing to lose sleep over, but maybe I might like it more in 2093. Who knows? Now we have Ray Halil's Is It Worth It? Ray's pretty underground, but after I heard this song, I had to put it in the video. It's definitely one of my favorite songs of the entire month. It also had a live video performance, so if you haven't heard it or seen it and enjoy mature R&B, it's definitely worth a listen. Actually, Ray Halil as an artist, just go listen to everything. It's a presidential order. The notable album of the day goes to Jennifer Lopez's This Is Me Now, the 9th studio album of hers being a sequel to her This Is Me Then, released back in 2002. This is also her first studio album release in 10 years, wow. But my favorite song on the album was Can't Get Enough. I'm not super familiar with her music, so sadly I don't have any more to say on it. Finally, returning back to Billy Joel. On this day, he released the music video to Turn the Lights Back On. It's such an emotional song that really hits you for being a fan of his. Even though I'm young and this video could never hit me the way it hits kids that grew up with him, I love that even someone like me can love and appreciate his work over the years, despite not even being there. I've been loving Billy Joel's music since I was little, and I still love and listen to his music today. I just really love this song. It's too good. Like, maybe I should actually make a full video dedicated to it. De La Soul celebrates the 35th anniversary of the 3 Feet High and Rising album by releasing Freedom of Speak, We Got 3 Minutes. And Normani announces her debut solo album, Dopamine. That I'm actually pretty excited for. Welcome back, Norah Jones, this time with 2 new singles, Staring at the Wall and Running, in preparation for her 9th studio album titled Visions, scheduled to release March 8th. Speaking of March, if you actually want to hear more about what I want to say about like this album and many others that release, and trust me, there are a lot of albums that are releasing next month, I might just make a March recap video like this one. So if you guys want that or any other suggestion, cool. Also, by the way, this is the 3rd 9th studio album I've covered in the month of February. Just a fun fact. Next, The Weeknd's popular music video was released. God, I love Fortnite. Finally, SZA releases a new single, Saturn, the lead single to the reissue of SOS titled Lana. I love the chill R&B feel of the song, and the meaning of escapism is really nice. Just another really good song by SZA. Free Nationals releases their new single Gangsta featuring A$AP Rocky and Anderson .Paak. This is the newest release since their first album back in 2019. Justin Timberlake releases Drown, his 2nd single promoting his 2nd upcoming 6th studio album, Everything I Thought It Was, scheduled to release March 15th. Finally, Olivia Rodrigo starts her Guts World Tour wherever the hell this is, and TLC's fan mail celebrates its 25th anniversary. Corey Henry releases his newest album, Church, and wow, this is pure electrifying gospel. It's one of those albums that just force you into a better mood. Like, you can't listen to this and just not jump out of bed, put on your Sunday shoes, and praise the Lord. It's just that good. The music is as authentic as the album cover. Pure, raw, juicy gospel. Hallelujah. Beyoncé finally hits number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100. Moving on. Ariana Grande's Eternal Sunshine tracklist was announced with 13 songs. Again, there's not much for me to talk about. I've kind of already made a video about Yes and this announcement is not nearly enough for me to say anything new other than that I'm still excited, so yay. And finally, on February 29th, Jacob Collier releases Jessie Volume 4. Jacob has become infamous for his different musical styles, and this album is no different, featuring folk, balladry, pop, rock, rap, samba, just a whole bunch of genres, so don't worry, Jacob is still definitely Jacob. So I forgot to record the ending. Wait, not me re-recording the ending because footage got messed up. Yay! I'm also wearing shades because you don't need to know how tired I look right now. I was just recording another video. Is the try? Do not undermine YouTubers. That takes too long. I can't go to class, do this and that and this and YouTubers. Anyways, I need to go over what I said because I don't think I have my script anymore, but I will do my best to remember what I said. I think I should freestyle. Okay. This video was a lot of fun. It was very hard, it took a long time, and wow, did I learn a lot from this, because I'm sure you can imagine having to watch and document everything you've seen that's happened within a month and just trying to take in and regurgitate, I'll say, everything you've learned from Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, looking things up that I've just never known. At the Grammys, there's so many great artists I've just never heard of. So I got to learn about new music, old music, new artists, and yeah, this learning experience is just crazy. It makes me want to do this next month, but I just know this is so tiring. This took so long, but I'm very happy I did this and that this video is actually gonna be out, even though it's much later than I thought it should have been. But you know, it's out, I'm happy, and yeah, I will do this next month. I will try my best. So with that, stay in school. I'll see you later. Bye. I need to go sleep. Bye-bye.